Hey, how is it going, guys? Azanay here, back out with a video. In this video, I want to do an awesome $1,000 PC build, gaming PC build, of course, which includes the brand new, not yet released NVIDIA Geforce GTX 1070 based on the Pascal architecture. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. For the CPU, I'm in the Intel Core i5 6600K 3.5 GHz quad-core processor for $245. Now, didn't go with an i7 because in the last time when I did a GTX 1080 build, I went with an i7 4790K, and this time, as the GTX 1070, I plan to go with an i5 6600K, and it ain't bad processor. When we compare this with the 4th generation Haswell processor, let's say an i5 4690K, 6600K performs much better as it's power efficient and better in gaming, video editing, live streaming, and rendering when compared to the Haswell 4th generation i5 processors. And not only that, for the CPU cooler, I'm with the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo for $29, and there's a $5 minimum rebate knocking down to $24. So using this, you can clock this 6600K to 4.0 GHz or something like 4.2 GHz because it's a budget CPU cooler, and I'm not that overclocking guy. Most of you guys out there don't overclock, just scared whether your hardware is going to damage. No, it's not. See, overclocking is never going to damage. You're just taking the performance you just built in the CPU, which is not yet taken out. So it's free performance just lying down on your hardware. So overclock is not that bad deal. So this CPU is not a bad deal, 6600K. If you want, you can choose the i7, but this is a $1,000 PC build and it includes a GTX 1070. So I plan to go with an i5 6600K. Now for the motherboard, I'm with the Gigabyte GA-Z170X-UD3 ATX LG1151 motherboard for $120 and a $10 remaining rebate, knocking down to $110. This motherboard's got all you need. It's a fantastic motherboard. Comes with a black and yellow scheme. I'm not that kind of guy who loves color scheme for the case, motherboard, RAM, and all those stuff. But this got everything you need for $110. It's got 4 RAM slots up to DDR4 2133 MHz up to max memory of 64 GB. It's got RAID support, crossfire support, SLI support, onboard USB 3 headers, and 3 SATA 6 gigabit per second ports. Much better motherboard for $110. Now for the memory, I'm with the Kingston HyperX Fury 8 GB 2x4 GB sticks running at DDR4 2133 MHz for $35. A Kingston HyperX Fury Black RAM for $35, and it's an 8 GB, and it's a DDR4, and it's running at 2133 MHz. That ain't bad deal. This is a much better deal. So in this case, we can get a DDR3 8 GB for under $30, and there were many deals in Newegg where you could get something about $25 for Kingston DDR3 RAM. So this is a fantastic deal. Now for the storage, Western Digital Caviar Blue 1TB 3.5 inch 7200 RPM internal hard drive for $53. Didn't go in SSD or the Seagate Barracuda 2TB hard drive because 1TB is much enough. Well, it does not, cope up with new generation games as it is much big in storage capacity. So, 1TB you can add another hard drive because it's got 3 SATA ports. So, upgradability, PC gaming, much better platform. So you can just upgrade to another SSD on a 1TB hard drive. Now for the video card, I'm in the NVIDIA Geforce GTX 1070 for $370. So if you don't want to wait, well, I recommend highly to wait and get this GTX 1070, or you can go for the 970 or the R9 390, which is almost the similar price. Now for the power supply, I'm in the EVGA SuperNOVA NEX 650 watt 80 plus gold certified fully modular ATX power supply for $80, and there's a $5 remaining rebate knocking down to $75. 650 watt is much enough as we've got a Skylake processor and we've got a Pascal GPU, which both are hell power efficient GPUs. This 1070 only draws 165 watts, and 1600K also draws less power because they both are much power efficient. So 650 watt is much better. Now for the case, I'm in the Deepcool TESSERACT 8 SW ATX mid-tower case for $40. This is a fantastic looking case. All you've got the LED lightnings and all. Well, I'm not that kind of guy. So anyway, that's it. This is a fantastic $1,000 GTX 1070 build. Now we're talking about the benchmarks, max out every games at 2560 by 1440 getting 60 frames per second or 40 to 50 frames per second, but in 1080p maxed out 60 plus frames per second. That's guaranteed because it's got, well, yeah, it's not a GDDR5X memory compared to GTX 1080. As we thought the benchmarks for the GTX 1080, it could max out at 4K, getting 60 frames per second when paired than i7 5960X. That was fantastic. Faster than Titan X, faster than GTX 980 in SLI. Well, sometimes, but sometimes GTX 980 in SLI overperforms it. Anyway guys, that's for this. Definitely be sure to like and subscribe the video, and I'll talk to you guys next one. Peace out.